Do you want to improve your climbing faster? Well, I've got 5 tips for you to move more efficiently, conserve more energy, and just have more fun on the wall. We'll start with our feet. One of the best ways to conserve energy is to use our feet. Not just use them, but use them properly. When I put my foot on a hold, I'm nice and precise, and I use the front of my toe box. It allows me to pivot my foot, shift my weight, where if I were to try and use, say, the middle of my foot like I see a lot of beginner climbers doing, if I turn my foot, I'm off the hold and off the wall. When you start working on this, you might want to begin with some larger feet. Gives you a lot of play, a lot of wiggle room, if you will. But as you want to start leveling up your climbing, start practicing with increasingly small feet, trying to be very precise with our placement. For tip number 2, let's talk about the upper body. Right now, when you see me climbing, I'm nice and relaxed. All of my weight is being supported by my general skeletal structure. What we see from a lot of newer climbers is they climb in a very activated position, and I can already feel my entire back and upper body warming up, feeling tired from this scrunched position. What I'd rather do to feel more comfortable on the wall and conserve energy over the course of a long climbing day is try and keep my arms straighter. There will be times when I need to lock off and reach, but once I do that, I can find myself in another relaxed position. So I can move from engaged to relaxed as I need to. To practice this tip, let's go ahead and find a climb that we feel comfortable on, one that we're not fully engaged on the whole time, so we can just relax a little bit more into those holds. Go ahead and climb it with your arms straight. One thing you're gonna find is this actually pairs really well with tip number 1. Being precise with our foot placement is gonna allow us to twist our hips, move our legs, use our lower body, and keep our arms straight. Tip number 3 is to rest. Rest between your attempts, chat with some friends, get that energy back, because climbing is a high intensity sport. And every time we get on the wall, we want to be prepared to approach each climb with full intensity. On top of that, you also might want to think about times on the wall when you can find a position to rest, shake a hand out, and recover. Keep your eyes peeled in particular for spots like this, where you can get a no hands rest and completely recover within those forearms. When I'm trying my hardest on boulders, I like to make sure I'm taking at least 3 to 5 minutes off in between attempts, possibly even short attempts like that. When I'm getting on ropes and I'm using my endurance system, getting my heart pumping, I really like to take at least 5 to 10 minutes off in between runs. Climbing's hard, make sure you rest. A trap that I see new climbers falling into a lot, and myself too when I'm trying really hard, is forgetting to breathe. In particular, I like to take a breath before I commit to a nice, big, hard move. It's a nice reminder, keep those lungs involved. Remembering to breathe takes practice. So when I do my warm-ups, sometimes I like to make sure that I'm taking 1 breath for every move. Not only does this remind me to breathe, it gives me some further time under tension and a little bit of mental time to focus on my foot placement and resting my weight through my skeletal structure with my arms nice and straight. Climbing with others accelerates learning and makes climbing more enjoyable. When you're climbing with other people, I like to ask for tips, watch how others solve problems, and if they want it, I share beta with respect. Beta is the method that we use to get up the wall. Some climbers like to talk about it with you. Others really don't want it offered to them. Make sure you check with someone and respect their boundaries before you go ahead and spray them down with what you think is the right way to do a climb. Want to practice these techniques and more? Sign up for one of our Learning to Boulder courses, which comes included for free with your First Ascent membership.